Both the La Crosse School and Western Tech referendums on the ballot passed yesterday. So with voters deciding to increase their property taxes, is this a sign of an improving economy? News 8's Pauline Lee has more.
Well, taxes were definitely one of the bigger issues in this election season. While asking people to voluntarily increase their taxes doesn't always work, it gets a little bit easier as the economy picks up and if the money is going towards something voters see as beneficial. It was a couple of many difficult decisions La Crosse voters had to make in this election. Should their property taxes go up to fund 2 educational referendums worth nearly $100 million? And for some voters, it was an easy yes vote to both.
We need to look to the future and we need to have a good place for our kids, and even for people like at TC who are going back to school.
But for some, the cost was too high.
I was voting against the mega school concept in favor of preserving the neighborhood schools.
Both passed. In fact, the La Crosse referendum passed by a 2-to-1 margin. UWL Assistant Professor of Economics Adam Hoffer says the support for the 2 referendums could be an indication the economy is turning around.
I think that's one of the reasons people are willing to invest again, right? Because that's what these both referenda really are, is an investment in infrastructure, in the community, in the area, and hoping to make La Crosse more economically competitive in the future.
Hoffer says voting on these 2 referendums a few years ago could have had very different outcomes.
The debt ceiling debate, I think, was much hotter a few years ago. So this would have been asking us to take on more debt whenever we were torn at a national level about whether we could afford to take on more debt. So a few years ago, I'm not so sure.
While La Crosse residents will soon see a property tax increase of nearly $65 a year per $1,000 home, Hoffer says it's no surprise La Crosse voters chose to invest in schools.
So healthcare and education, that's what we have in this count. If we look at what people of La Crosse are interested in, it wasn't that surprising to me that we would want to invest more in not only the technical school, but also our elementary schools as well.
Now, Professor Hoffer says there is still a long ways to go before the economy is fully back on its feet, with things like improving the housing market as well as fixing the national debt problem. But both referendums passing in La Crosse yesterday was a good start.
All right, thank you, Pauline. La Crosse school officials think it will take about 6 months of planning and another 18 months to build the school, with an opening date in the fall of 2014. We'll have more on where Western Technical College goes from here at 6.